When you look at Japan equities, Japan valuations, there's a bullish case, you say, that is there to be made. However, we still don't have structural reform, and there's so many questions about arrows coming. The arrows that we were promised by Mr. Abe, will they come in 2017?
Yeah, you know, Francine, it's funny. It reminds me a little bit. H.L. Mencken described second marriages as the triumph of hope over experience, and I feel I feel that way about Japanese equities because I've been trying to get bullish on them for about 27 years, and usually my hopes are dashed at a certain point. But listen, Francine, I think the valuations are extremely compelling. Earnings growth is good. Dividends are actually in some ways the sleeper call for Japan. Dividend payout ratios are about half of where they are in Europe. The biggest problem I find with Japan is the ability for the policymakers to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You know, and I think last year's experimentation with negative interest rates was an example of that. There's clearly a movement on the part of the Bank of Japan to move away from that in September, and I think that's what allowed Japanese equities to do a little bit better in the second half of the year.
What you do in your research note is you link all this eco-babble over to the equity markets. Are you going to buy U.S. domestic only, or can you find value in international stocks, including Japan?
You can find value, but you have to hedge the currency. To me,
you want to hedge your
I would say for Japan, Europe, I'm more nervous on because I think there's going to be, for lack of a better term, a never-ending in Europe over the next year. Japan, though, is more interesting to me because I think it's almost one for one, which is to say that the weaker the currency gets, the better the equity market is going to get. So if you can hedge it, it makes some sense.